beginner's tips and tricks for Hogwarts Legacy. Also got PC settings. I'm going to talk about a few errors that are happening, and a bunch of keybinds that I think you should change, and graphic settings. What's up, world? We're back in another video, and today we're checking out Hogwarts Legacy on the PC, and just in general, a beginner's guide to some of the things that I've come across, because I finally got my hands on the game about an hour and a half ago, and just some of the beginning tips. I've finally been able to save the game, so I've been able to exit, and I got a bunch of tips and tricks that I want to share. Now, I will say first up, for the PC performance, it's actually running really well. In fact, I'm running almost over 100 FPS in some occasions on my 2070, so I have like a budget graphics card. It's a mid-tier, and I'm still getting 100 plus FPS with DLSS on, of course, and basically all high settings beside from like 1 or 2 that I've switched on and off on occasion. But it feels great running at 100 plus FPS. Now, I will mention I did have a bit of issues with the ceremony, like that German YouTuber had, like we featured yesterday, GameStar. Mine did drop to about 6 and 5 FPS. It's only been in that cutscene. I really wish they would have refined it. Maybe it's something they couldn't fix before release. Who knows? I really thought the day 1 patch was going to fix that. I'm guessing it's a shader issue, and like the shaders are just downloading in the background, and it's having issues with that scene. There's no load screen or anything like that, so it does make sense for it to be all compiled and it being on Unreal Engine 4, but we'll move on from that. Now, my first recommendation is changing your Protecto spell off Q. Q is really easily accessible. In fact, for MMOs, like pretty much any key on the keyboard is accessible, but I actually prefer it on the mouse. And so I do suggest switching to a mouse button if you can. It feels so smooth and easy. Once I switched it to my mouse button, I was able to completely block every spell. In fact, I never got hit once. I will say you have to be careful. There are 2 keybinds for Q, and I just went to the first one that was Q, and I changed it, and it was the show spell button or show something, and I ended up not having my Protecto spell bound to my mouse button, and so I basically almost died because I was on hard mode. Couldn't figure out what was happening at the beginning, and I'm like, oh, I put the wrong keybind. I'm sure this might not be a problem on controller, but I'm PC all the way, so I'm playing with mouse and keyboard. Don't spam your pot button. I don't know what it is on console or whatever it is. It's probably just like the right bumper or something to make it easy so you don't like spam it. But on keyboard, it's just G, and I thought my guy was like stuck in the animation to take a pot. And again, I only really needed one because I accidentally changed the keybind. Switched it on the wrong one. But anyways, I spammed the G key, and it went through all 3 pots instantly. Like, it just like, because I'm so used to having to spam through an animation or whatever it is, especially on keyboard games. Just make sure you don't spam that key, or set it to something where you only are typically pressing once. Now, I want to bring this up really quickly because this is part of the beginner's guide, and there was a YouTuber I saw that talked about not exploring or don't explore, don't check everything, don't go explore, like, just play the game. No, man. Like, first of all, don't let anybody tell you how to play the game. Play how you want. But explore. Have fun with it. In fact, the first room, after you get reveal, they allow you to kind of see like you're like in this dark room, and I'm sure everybody's seen it already, but you're in this dark area, you can reveal. There's actually chests in there, so like if you went through it, you might have missed chests if you didn't reveal in that area and go to explore. So, man, I really do think you should explore. Even though I haven't really got far in the game, I think it's one of the main things is you should go around, explore, do part of the main story quest at the beginning, but then once you get into it, go explore things and have fun with it. So for settings, I'm on a 2070 and a 5600X, and I run it all high with no ray tracing, because ray tracing is really hard, and fog on medium quality, and then the rest all high. So ray tracing off, DLSS on, latency boost, all that stuff on too as well. And I should mention that's at DLSS quality. And I want to also mention, once you get into your housing or wherever, I like to make multiple saves at the beginning of the game. So if I ever want to go back to the beginning of the game, just with that class setup in that house, I can then go back to that specific save. And so actually, Hogwarts actually has I was kind of worried about this, that they weren't going to have a multi-save system, but they do, and they actually give you quite a bit, and I hope that you can add more, or there's at least you can back up your saves on PC. Usually just save them and you can transfer them back into the folder. But they do give you quite a bit. And so what I did is I scrolled all the way to the bottom and then hit a save there, so I would kind of forget about it. I'm probably only going to use like the first 5 anyways. So those bottom ones aren't really going to be used. So I put it all the way at the bottom, and I did get put, I know people had a question in my other video of what housing I got put into and all that stuff. I did get put in Ravenclaw. And that actually matched up with my online quiz. The one that I actually kind of liked because I didn't really know what house I wanted to be into. It was kind of like an odd one that actually matched the quiz online and the house that I got put in the game, and it matched the one that I liked as well, so that was cool. Haven't got the wand yet, but I'm working up to that. I wanted to make this video for the beginner guide first. I do want to talk about some of the erroring that people are seeing, and the way I think that you can fix that opener ceremony is maybe just relaunching your game at a certain point, although I don't know if like when's the earliest you can save. It didn't seem like I was able to until after the ceremony, so I'm not too sure. I probably should have checked earlier on, but I think the only way that you could do it is if you played the game a little bit and then relaunched it. At that point, it should have downloaded the shaders. Now, there is a pre-prep screen that downloads shaders, but you never know. It might not have gotten all of them. I'm really not sure how they can fix that opener scene, although there'll probably be some sort of fix for the FPS on those low cutscenes on Nexus mods sometime. Now, there is a tweet that just came out, and it is from Fantastical Twitter. We're receiving many messages about the community having issues accessing Hogwarts Legacy Early Access. This is a Steam error, and it's widespread. Please allow some time for the issue to be fixed. If you bought the deluxe edition from the store, you will have access. People are getting some Steam errors from that, so then people are having issues unpacking, and people are saying that the Steam is like the restart to Steam isn't working, that the depot cache to delete depot cache, and people are saying that's not really working or that's a troll. There is something going on with the Steam keys and the way that Steam issued the unpacking and the Steam process. I guess like some sort of mix-up with the .app file putting out two separate keys, and so unfortunately there seems to be an error there with people trying to unpack, and so it's like giving your client a different key, and then the online it's not registering correctly, so the keys are getting messed up, something of that nature, basically not allowing you to unpack. I would try maybe verifying integrity through Steam. There's different ways to go about that. Obviously the restart of Steam and logging in, logging out, restarting your computer. If it's not unpacking, it seems like a lot of people are having issues, or setting Steam to administrator. There's a lot of different things you can do with that, at least for now, but I'm going to have links down below to a lot of different like third-party retailers. Hopefully, at least I know Green Man Gaming has been tweeting about it, and so has Fantastic Twitter, so I'm going to have both of those down below, or Fantastical I think it is, and I'm going to have both of those Twitters down below so you can check out any updates and see if it's working or what to do of that nature. But yeah, I will say my PC experience so far has actually been a lot better than I was expecting, and the performance is really, really good for me, even on my 2070. I'm actually getting up there with Cyberpunk performance. Now, I really just hope they fix that cutscene issue, at least with the ceremony, because that's such a special part, and it really was a bummer when I got there, but everything else was so smooth, even when we were riding on the cart. In fact, I had a ton of good frames. When we were on the cart, I was almost at like 120, even with all that effects and going really, really fast, so that felt really good. Again, this might be a UE4 problem. I really wish they would have gone to UE5, but that's okay. I'm sure there'll be a different patch, and it's gonna work out. It's just fine. The only thing I noticed is like when I played games like Fortnite, UE5 actually did perform a lot better, and so I was able to run it like even like a higher graphic fidelity and still maintain my same frame rate, and that's why I really wanted to push for UE5, because it just offers a really large, it seems like a large gap in performance. I'm not sure why, and it wasn't with Nanite or any of the new tech. But that's just about cover for this video. I figured to drop a little beginner guide and just some quick tips. And if you enjoyed today's video, I'd like a like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuce.